Hello there, it's me, Sari, here from Sari'S Stamping Studio. I've got a web shop in Sweden, but we do ship worldwide. So if you are interested, take a look to see if you find something that you fancy. And just for once, or perhaps twice even, I'll make this video in Swedish, and just to let you see what I've got going on here right now. And I've got quite a bundle of things, so I'm just going to browse them through one by one. And of late, I'm really smitten by working with gel press plates or jelly printing, brayers, acrylic paints and everything, and there'll be a little bit of this here and there as well. So I thought I'd start off with a brayer section 6-inch wide from gel press. It's a really good brayer, I must say. I do have that one myself. And then I've got a couple, let's see if I can take that one together with something else. And then I have a Restocked stamp from Caramel Studio. It's a butterfly with some letters, grungy letters there to go with it. And then I've got quite a few art printing plates. And these are texture plates, and the thought is that you can just lift off color, paint or ink from your gel press or gel plate with this texture plate, because this one isn't mounted. You could of course use it as a stamp, but you need to think about when you are using patterns that include texts, it's going to be reversed, because these are made for the gel press or jelly plate printing system in thought. So here I've got an A6 sized triangular wonderful shaped thing here, and I love this one myself. And the thing is that if you compare the lift off result with a printing plate versus a stamp, you will get a much clearer image with a printing plate, so you might take that into consideration. Then I've got a couple of stars here on this starry background, and there's a lot of stars there, I must say. Then there are some circles, and they are really nice looking. And the thing about these printing plates is that you don't really have to rush down and clean them up, because they are meant to get dirtied up and worked with. Here I've got a wonderful set of textured squares, and Birgit Kupsen is the designer for this one for Caramel Studio. You could of course just have lovely colors on your jelly plate, put that one there, lift up the texture and then do a print, and you will get all of these small goodies. And then you could of course cut your paper into squares or just shapes or something, and it's an easy wonderful texture plate to go with there. Then I've got a zodiac themed, and this is a really nice one, I must say. So I can see the Sagittarius there, the Scorpio and the Cancer and all sorts. And it's a really nice, look at that texture, my goodness. And you don't always have to use the complete texture plate when you're lifting up ink or paint. You could just take it off here and there and just create some wonderful textures. Here's another one, and this one is, I'm not sure what I had. This one is called in French, anyway, Vitrail de. I'm not sure what I've called it in Swedish, but you can find it by looking for the number combination 625. But this one has got some really nice textures going on, I must say. And there's another one with some squared shapes, but there are some big ones together with the small ones, and this one is called Patchwork. It's a little bit easier to find, I suppose, and they are really nice to look at, I must say. Here's a big bang circle, and just look at all of these textures, or the texture. But remind yourself that if you are going to use this, the numbers and the texts are going to be reversed, because this one is reversed. So here's something else. It's called a textured disc, and there are some, let's say, cake pieces, triangular pieces with different textures and patterns there. Really lovely. And then there are some wonderful leaves, doodle leaf, this one is called, leaves and flowers and perhaps even berries if you would like to go in that direction. And I forgot to show you the background. Look at that. Really nice. And then I've got something that's called flowery background. It's really busy looking, but I'm thinking it's going to be really smashing. The texture is pretty dense. Then I've got polka dots, and it's a circular thing. And Kate Crane is the designer for this one. So it's a circular printing press plate. And I think that I had that one on before. And then I've got the, I'm calling this the Ladybugs and Stars. It's really nice looking, I must say. And here you have it. And that one I've shown. I think I've shown that one as Jamboree. I don't think I've shown this one. Jamboree. It's a square plate with lots of different patterns. Kate Crane is the designer for this one. And she makes really wonderful YouTube videos. Just go look, have a look-see there. And then there's the abstract flowers. There's some text going on here and some patterns and leaves and everything. Birgit Kupsen. Oh, and this one looks lovely. Lots of textures. So that's that. I like to use foam stamps as well, and I do have these from Studio Light. I do have some from Pronti, and even could it be some other brands. I have 3 of the Studio Light scene. This one has got some bricks, a brick wall. It's a little bit difficult to see since it's black on black, but I hope you can see it somewhat. And then there's a beautiful feather. And if you go to my web shop to see, I've made a card and I've stamped this with some metallic ink, and I just cut out the image, and it was really nice to make a card with that. And then I've got a beautiful clock here, which I'm sorry I can't show you better than this. It's all about the glare, it seems like right now. And when I'm talking about jelly printing and everything, I got these in as well. It's a set of 3 different shapes. They are approximately 5 centimeters in size, as I should imagine. And these come from Gel Press. And you can just mount these on an acrylic block and have a stamping method with these if you want to. Or you could just brayer on these or have lots of fun. So I've got a heart and a pair of lips and a mustache there. Here is a cloud. It's not easy to see. And a speech bubble and some sort of a deckled edged circle. And I don't know what this is. Oh, I see. It's a butterfly wing. You could stamp it on that side and then just turn it over and stamp it on the other side to make yourself a butterfly. And then there's an oval drop shape, leaf petal. And then there's a diamond. So you could just combine these or make your own patterns with them. Here is something it's called with a light bulb and an arrow or a house. You could just use it for whatever you want to. And then there's a mug or coffee cup or something. And then there's a wing. There's a chevron arrow there. And then there's a drop there. And then I've got a hexagon, or there's an oval and a hexagon and a rectangle here. Here's the oval and here's the hexagon. And the final one for these Gel Press Petites, I've got a round or a circular one there, and I've got a triangle, and then I've got a square. And then I've also got restocked this one. It's a 6 by 6 inch square from Gel Press. And I do have other shapes and sizes in my web shop, so just go there, have a look, see Sari'S I think I'll just continue working or showing off things from Carabel Studio. Here is a set of masks, leaves it's called, or leaves in this case, and Birgit Kupsen, I see her name there being written there once again. And you could look for, let's say, 659, you could find it there. And then there's Damier Grunge. I call it checkerboard or something. And there are some circles. A lot of empty space there. Around the world circles. And then there is cosmic squares, I believe I've called this one. And then there is ledger page or something similar. And then there is some cogwheels and a mesh, I believe. Courier or postage or something. Text manuscript. It's a really wonderful stencil. And swirls, I believe I've called it, or scrolls. Swirls or scrolls. And then there's some fabric thing going on here. I believe I've called it. Hearts. And some petals. There's quite a lot of stencils going on, and I do have more in the web shop, so just have a look-see at that as well if you are interested. And then I've got a really big mama of a stencil with big circles and lots of empty space to do whatever you want to, really. That one is from Dilutions. I do have some more stencils from Dilutions. Let's see. I should have even another set of stencils. Let's see if I can find them soon enough. Here is Doodle It 2. It's a set of 4 small stencils, as you can see in the black and white picture there. And this one is folded, so you can actually put this one in your dialogue book if you want to. Here is a set of 3 smaller tag-shaped stencils from Tim Holtz, and this is it. And I believe this one is Sparkle, Diamond Dot, and then it was that pattern, which I can't remember right now. I'll come up with it in just a second because I have the bigger version here. It's called Gingham. Gingham. Wonderful squares. Here's the Sparkle, and here's the wonderful Decade, and then there's some Falling Stars and Diamond Dot, and I have more stencils from Tim Holtz in the shop, and I'll go in with even more of the stencils that I've got here going on here. This is a snowfall or something, snowflakes. From Marianne Design, A5 sized. And then I've got a new brand, that Special Touch of, and it's I think it could be a could it be 6 by 6 inch, 15 times 15 centimeters approximately. And there are some leaves here, or sprigs. Here are some wonderful roses. Rose swirls, it's called. Look at these feathers. Feathers. And this one is called Autumn. And here is something that I need to turn it over and have a look, see. Retro Christmas. And then Gingerbread Men, or Man or Men. And then there is Boomerangs. I love this pattern. Wonderful. And then there is Crisscross. And then I've got something from Vessen Creative. Hearts. It's a bit difficult to see. I do have a better picture in the web shop. It's called, I believe it's Hearts. Let's see, A5 sized. It doesn't say what the name for it is. But if you want to go for the numbers, you could go for 100 802. And I'm sure you can find it. And then there is Heart and Arrow, I believe this one is called. And it's also Vessen Creative. It doesn't say. This one is 15 times 15 centimeters anyway. And then there are some stencils from Finnabear, Prima Marketing. This one was cut and paste, I believe. Scissors, cut and paste. And then there was some cogwheels. Let's see, here we actually have the names. Mechanics is this one with the cogwheels, and cut and paste is this, no, that one there. I believe that was with the stencils, so let's move on with other, no, actually I think you find something else here as well. Here's another one of the dialogue stencils, version 2. There's also 4 different patterns there, smaller stencils. These are, let's say, 4 by 4 inches, approximately 10 by 10 centimeters, could be give and take. And let's move on with some other stamps and stuff. Tropical Flowers, this one is called, with a lovely parrot there, from Joy Crafts. Tropical Flowers. I love stamps and stencils and everything from Studio Light, and here is a really loved stamp set, and it's called 363. You could have a look-see at that. Lots of wonderful grungy stamps. And here's a beauty as well. I think I've called it Stand Tall, but look at all of the wonderful textured things that are going on here in the background of that flower. And 405 you could go for, and you can find it there. Here's an oldie but a goodie. Memories of Summer series, and you could look for 292. It's a wonderful postcard background stamp. And there's the third one of the dialogue stencil sets, Border It 2. And then there are just 2 long stencils with lots of border patterns there. And I think I'll just go on with the dialogue insert books. I do have quite a few in the shop since before, and here are 2 more that I'm filling it up with. This is a completely black page, and this one is blank, and it's a sort of a beigey white color. And I'm restocking these 2. It's a mixed media stamp die set with a Halloween touch, and I like to make stencils out of these sorts of dies. So you can have lots of fun with your jelly plates or just inks and brushes. And this one is called Tangled Twigs, also from Sari'S and Tim Holtz. And it's a really wonderful die. So let's see. I have more of those wonderful transparent wings, which nowadays are colored in. They are beautiful, they are. And then I've got 2 different sized glue guns. They are both hot glue guns, and you should really take good care not to burn yourself, because that's easily done, I must say. And then I also got the refill glue sticks for that smaller one. I seem to have forgotten to take the big ones. Here is a big clear cutting plate for the Gemini die cutting machine from Crafter's Companion, and I actually use these as acrylic or the gel plate, let's say acrylic blocks, so I can actually stow it away while I'm doing something else, bring it back and just do like that. So that's what I'm using these for, apart from using them when I'm cutting. A set of stamps from Dilutions, Heads and Tails it's called, and it has got these wonderful textured heads of both the fox, the owl, a rabbit and a deer. And what else have I got? I've got quite a few things more to show you. Glue from Aileen's, tacky glue, 2 different sizes. Here I've got some book binding glue. Some people are really screaming after the book binding glue, and they think that's the way to go. Here is a glue that I actually fancy myself, Deluxe Adhesive from Tonic Studios Nuvo brand. I really like this one. It's easy to squeeze out, and it's got a fancy top there as well to go with it. And I actually did have another glue. It might come up later on. Here is a craft knife from We Are Memory Keepers, and it's a regular craft knife, and you should have your cutting mat underneath when you're cutting, so you don't destroy your surface. Here are some tiny vials, 9 small glass bottles with corks. And here's a white ink pad from Lawn Fawn. If you're looking for a white ink pad, this one might be the one to go for or look for. And then I've got the scissors from Tim Holtz, the serrated titanium snip scissors that are 7" in length. And then I've got some watercolor pans from Prima, Tropicals, and here's the color scheme in that one. Then I've got a tool that could be something that you fancy. If you are sort of, if you aren't that strong in your hands, this might be the one to go for, perhaps together with this one, because then you could replace the blending foams on this one, put that on top, and you actually have 2 ends to work with at the same time if you want to. You could actually have 2 of these, or you couldn't because you only have 1. You only have 1 head there, but you could have a craft knife or perhaps a paper scraper or something on the other end if you wanted to. So these are from Sari'S, and they could be a really nice thing for you to work with if you're looking for a better tool to go with. Here is some Distress Glitter Clear Rock Candy, and this glitter can actually be colored in with, let's say, alcohol ink if you are fancy those. The Distress Sprayer bottle is a really handy one because it has got a knob here which you can push in, and when you're traveling you actually can close it up so the water or whatever you have in it doesn't leak out. And there's also a possibility of squeezing this one halfway to get a little and then push it further in and you get a lot of water or spray out of it. White ink spray, white linen from Dilutions. Shake these babies up and clean up the nozzle in between, and I hope you're good to go. Restocking some of the acrylic paints from Dina Wakley and Ranger Ink. There's quite a few more colors in the shop since before, so have a look-see at that if you will. There's a restocking of this silicone brush 2" wide from Finnabair. And I'm restocking this wonderful color Red Amber wax from Finnabair. Here's a small brayer from Ranger Ink. Works wonderfully. And then there's some Distress crayons with the metallic colors. 3 of those in that set. Here are some gel plate marking tools, so you can make some marks on your gel plates. Here are some quote chips, which you can have some fun with when you are making your layouts or home decoration pieces or whatever. And I do have a big thing that I'll show you in the end. And I do have another box here that I have to just divide like this. I'm restocking these wonderful blending brushes from Nelly Snellen. They come in, I think it's 6 different sizes. I'm showing you 4 of these right here. Here's the 5th. And then I have some dies from Marianne Design. This one is a real beauty, I must say. It's a wonderful ice crystal or snowflake. And then there's a set of Christmas trees in various shapes and sizes, and a couple of stars as well. Here's a clear stamp with a pile of books from Dixie Craft. And then there are some stencils from Studio Light. You could look for SL23 if you fancy that one. This one is SL26. This one is SL22. And this one is SL20 if you have a fancy for these. So more stencils, as you can see. I've got some die sets from by Lene. It's a painter's theme there. And it's you could go for 1151 if you want to look for that. And here's a Swedish word, could be even Danish or Norwegian. And it says student. And you could go for 1172. And the nice thing about this one is that you have the word there, but you also have the shadow for that. And then I've got this wonderful die frame with pine trees from Nelly Snellen. And you could make some shaker cards with that. And there's a picture illustration there as well. So look for D004 or D004. This one might be a bit tricky to see, but if you look at the white images in the background, it's a set of lots of candles in this stamp. And you could go for 0878 when you are looking for this. So it's a border stamp with lots of candles. Here's a wonderful Merry Christmas die in Swedish, God Jul. And you could just look for NHHD827 if you fancy looking for that one. God Jul. Here's another beautiful stencil from Studio Light, and I'm thinking of New Year's fireworks when I see this one. So MA02. Here's a set of papers, 6 by 6 inches, from Ciao Bella, The Greatest Show, and there's a circus theme going on here. I also have the A4 sized, I just lost the word for this. You're supposed to cut these pieces and shapes out yourself. Die cut shape. I'm not sure. I'm lost of words. my throat is pretty hoarse, so I can't think no more. Here's another stamp set from Studio Light with a grunge theme, SL362. Wonderful grunge stamps there. A die set with number or letters, and this one is MA02. Here's a stamp with a wintry, Christmassy theme from Studio Light. Snowy Afternoon is the collection for it, and SA400 you can go for. Now I'm going to go a bit nautical. I'm restocking these from Crafter's Companion. Here we are with those dies. And here we are with these. And I've got a gingerbread house and a couple of stars. It's a die set, and this could be really useful, I must say. From Joy Crafts. And here is a barbecue time themed die set. Excuse me. And here is some more nautical themed items. It's a stamp set. Really wonderful looking stamps there, I must say. I like this one a lot. Love, 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 love. Lots of love there. And I've actually made this one into a stamp and a stencil and something else. I mean, it's really nice to work with apart from it just die cutting it out of that shape. And here is a set of dies as well from Dixie Craft. Boy and Girl, I think I've called this one, or something like that. Here's a fountain pen. Here's a book. And here is a set of stamps from Studio Light. MA03 you could go have a look-see for. And I'm thinking about New Year's Eve here again with that splatter. Here's the glue that I was talking about before, Cosmic Shimmer. And as you can see in here, I've got Cosmic Shimmer shakers, and these are you can make your colorful backgrounds with these. You could put this one into a, let's say, a sprayer bottle and add on some water and make your own mist, and lots of wonderful things in that box there. And I'm just going to show this one to you, the Big Mama, the works all in one tool from We Are Memory Keepers, and the blades to go with it. This is both a cutting machine, it's a scoring board, it's a stamping platform, it's a thing where you can make your own bows, you can make your banner, buntings or whatever, you can make all sorts of things with this one. And I'll be trying this one out in a separate video, so look out for that. I think I'll perhaps make it in English or perhaps in Swedish, I'm not sure. There is one thing that I need to point out, especially when it comes to the stamping bit, so look out for that one. Otherwise, I'm really thrilled about this one. I have been waiting for a, let's say, all-in-one tool that like this, especially when you are going to crops. You can't really carry too many things with you. This one weighs a little bit more than a regular paper trimmer, but it also includes quite a lot of things, as you can see, and it has got a really long extended arm there. I'm really fascinated. I'm thrilled to bits with this one. So with this, I'm going to sign off right now, and you are welcome to my shop at any time, Sari'sStampingStudio.com.